I was back in Montfaucon Square after all these years. Beneath the cobbles lay a hidden world of ancient waterways and catacombs, some of it built by the Knights Templar as a meeting place and sanctuary. Once again, I was going to have to go down there to discover the truth. On the boarded-up door was a notice. Due to local seismic events and out of concern for the safety of our patrons, we will be closed for the foreseeable future. I didn't want the notice, and I didn't want to break into the cafe. Ah, the Montfaucon manhole. Happy memories. I couldn't lift a big iron cover like that with my bare hands. The guy was sleeping like a baby. Hey, you! I'd seen dead people with more life in them than this guy. The mustache, the attitude, the ass hanging out of the pants. It was the same guy I'd met years ago at the bombed-out cafe. Of course, back then I was still in Fighting Evil Conspiracies Junior League. Hi, how you doing?
Ça va? As long as we don't have another earthquake.
Well, you should be safe here, by the old church.
You're joking. Look at it.
But it's medieval.
Medieval? Shoddy, you mean? Should be torn down and replaced with something modern.
Really?
Something nice in concrete and steel. Built to be earthquake-proof.
You think there's gonna be more quakes?
Of course. And look at all that rubble. The thing's a death trap. Wait a minute. You seem very familiar to me, monsieur.
Me? Oh, I doubt it.
But of course. You're the guy who gave me that racing tip.
Oh, right, so I am.
That horse made a fortune for me. Turned my whole life around.
Guess I'm just a natural.
It's a gift, monsieur. A gift.
But how come you're still digging up roads?
I've got my own company now, monsieur. And a drill. See? Not a pick. If you have any more tips like that one...
You'll be the first to know. What exactly are you doing here?
These damned earthquakes are screwing everything up. There's plenty of stuff underground needs fixing after that last shock.
So you're digging a hole for the utilities guys to get to the damage?
That's it. And the sooner we're out of here, the happier I'll be.
You said we. I don't see anybody else working.
My workmate, Alphonse, is snoring up a storm in the cab of my truck.
Why isn't he helping you?
Medical exemption. He's got a piece of paper from his doctor saying he is clinically seismophobic.
He's afraid of earthquakes?
Just so, monsieur.
And you believe it?
You can't argue with a piece of paper, can you?
So, how did you end up with this Alphonse guy?
Positive discrimination. We have to take on a set number of cowardly idiots every year.
In the open tool bag, I could see a sewer key.
Hey, monsieur! Leave those tools alone.
Me? Oh, I was just admiring them.
Well, do it from further away.
It was the compressor that powered the pneumatic drill.
Mon Dieu! So help me! Hey! Alphonse! What do you think you're doing, idiot?
While the workman was looking the other way, I borrowed his sewer key. Funny, every time I get involved in saving the world, I turn into a kleptomaniac.
Look, Alphonse! I am tired of arguing with you! Just be sure it doesn't happen again, huh?
With only the faintest shudder of déjà vu, I prepared once again to get intimate with the Parisian sewers. Come on, you piece of... I couldn't understand it. I'd once lifted this very manhole easily. Perhaps I'd let myself go.
Hey, monsieur, that's not my sewer key by any chance.
No! What do you take me for?
You just happen to carry one around with you.
Of course. Doesn't everybody?
Sure. Anyway, you're wasting your time. That cover was welded down years ago, during the Sieur Jacques panic.
Great. If I wanted to shift that cover, it'd take something a whole bunch stronger than me. Hi again. I left it alone. There's only so much fun you can have with a compressor. Hey, you! Hey, you! It was the workman's tool bag. I didn't want anything else from it. Welded shut. How distrustful can you get? A little old lady was sitting by the urinal, or pissoir, as the French call them. I guessed she was some kind of concierge. Hi, how are you?
Alive, thank God.
I know the feeling. Nice view of Montfaucon Square you've got here.
What's the point of a view when life's not worth a sou?
Hey, you're not one of those crazy hip-happening street poets, are you?
Don't be ridiculous, monsieur. I look after a pissoir.
Have you met that road worker over there?
Bah! That dog comes over here willy-nilly taking advantage of my facilities.
Isn't that what your facilities are for?
Yes, sir. But not with such enjoyment.
What do you mean, enjoyment?
He whistles, he sighs, he spits, and he jiggles.
Jiggles, huh?
Jiggles. He has no shame.
That's a problem.
It's a national disgrace.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, it's a urinal, not a cathedral.
Bah! Men, you are all the same. And when you are not jiggling, you are watching football. Go!
This wasn't going to be easy. The lady clearly needed years of Jungian analysis, and I didn't have time to wait. So what do you do?
I'm a brain surgeon. What do you think?
I think you look after this pissoir.
Zut alors! No flies on you, monsieur.
As long as I don't go in there.
And just what is that supposed to mean? Huh?
Whoa, my mistake. I backed off. It's a well-known fact that toilet attendants account for the majority of homicides in France. Must be the bleach blocks. You take pride in your work?
This pissoir is the cleanest and most hygienic in all France.
That must take a lot of dedication.
Yes, sir. In this job, the harder you work, the more other people just pass water upon your efforts.
I know the feeling. It's all very well having urinals here if I want to... But if a guy wants to, you know...
You shall have to use facilities elsewhere, monsieur. As you can see, the toilets were damaged in the earth tremor.
What? Who, me?
What do you think you're doing up there?
Admiring the view. I can see right into your pissoir from here.
Pervert! Get down from there before I call the police.
Okay, I'm coming. It was a clean, well-maintained pissoir.
Now wash your hands!
Hi again. Any good gutters around here?
Quoi? A gutter?
Yeah, a common roadside gutter. I need to whiz, lady.
A whiz? What is this whiz, monsieur? Mon Dieu! You mean you wish to... in a gutter? But monsieur, you have already used the facilities.
Don't remind me. It's just that when nature calls, there's sometimes a bit of an echo. You know what I mean?
Why, in the name of all that is hygienic, do you want to use a gutter? When there is a perfectly clean pissoir here.
That might pass for clean in the old world, lady. But I'd rather whiz in a gutter any day.
This is an outrage. I shall investigate.
You do that. You never know when you might need a length of rope.
Hey! You up there!
Oh, hi there!
I will not have some peeping Toms spying on my customers while they do their business!
Hey, I'm not spying on anybody.
Want to explain that to the police?
No, not really. Coming down. I didn't have the horsepower to lift that cover, but I knew something that did.
Hey! What are you doing?
Just setting something up. You'll love this.
You've anchored the van.
Let me ask you a hypothetical question. Your driver
Alphonse, damn his cowardly liver.
is scared of earthquakes, right? What would he do if there was an earthquake right now?
He'd slam the truck into gear and get out of here like... Oh,
That's right. With a manhole following him home.
he would never leave it down.
Is that a bad thing?
No, that's what sells your crazy scheme to me.
Hi again. Let me ask you a hypothetical question. Your driver
Alphonse, damn his cowardly liver.
is scared of earthquakes, right? What would he do if there was an earthquake right now?
He'd slam the truck into gear and get out of here like... Oh,
That's right. With a manhole following him home.
he would never leave it down.
Is that a bad thing?
No, That's what sells your crazy scheme to me.
Earthquake! Earthquake!
Magnifique! I don't know what I'll tell the insurance people, monsieur, but it was worth it.
Sprinkling sunshine into people's lives. I guess that was what I lived for. But right now, the sewer beckoned. This archway had been bricked up, and not that long ago either. No mystery there. I was the one who wrecked the original in the first place. The wall was well built and very, very solid. There was a faint inscription, but the decaying plaster made it almost impossible to read. I could make out some medieval French and some Latin, but not enough to squeeze out any meaning. I left the ancient archway alone. The inscriptions in the arches probably once told the truth about the extermination of the Templars. Like a lot of truths, time had blurred it. A big, spooky skull stared out at me. The mouth looked out of proportion. I didn't like the idea of putting my hand in the skull's mouth. But hey, what the heck? I was only risking mutilation. No blade took my hand off at the wrist, and no spider bit me, for which I was very grateful. But there was nothing in there to help me either. The skull's mouth had the same shape as the stone cylinder. Aha! I could write a book on secret doors. I really could. Oh my God! Something truly nasty had happened here. A trail of blood led round the corner. There was a large pool of blood on the floor. We weren't talking chickens here. A trail of blood led away. Either someone had crawled away or been dragged. I wasn't going to dip my fingers in this stuff. It was still fresh. I'd arrived too late. Cesaro and his men had shown no mercy for these poor souls. How could anyone do this? It was one of the Templars. He'd been badly beaten. Cesaro's men had shown no mercy. I didn't want to, but I had to search the body. The only thing on him was an old rusty key. It was one of the Templars. He'd been badly beaten. I just wanted to leave him in peace. A fire had been burning. It was still smoldering. The attack must have happened within the last few hours. Cesaro's men had shown no mercy. It was a very expensive coffee machine. Cesaro's men had smashed it up pretty good. I guess they didn't like coffee. It was too beaten up to work. My heart was racing enough already. I didn't need coffee. The sink was full of dirty, used mugs. The attack had obviously been sudden and unexpected. I decided not to operate it. Just as I'd feared, Cesaro had arrived first. One of Cesaro's men was guarding the kitchen. I couldn't get through while he was there. I was gonna have to find a way to distract him. The microwave suddenly sprang into life. It was going to make a noise. I had to hide, fast. Mission accomplished. The guy was now trapped in the room. I could hear the guy muttering to himself. He sure didn't sound happy. The guard had sat down to a hearty meal. Beans, egg, some chicken. How could anyone sit down to eat a meal surrounded by this carnage? Some cast iron pots with broth simmering in them. Sweet smells wafted over. On the shelves were a mixture of canned foods and game. Pheasant and beans, a Stobbart family favorite. It looked like an old map of Europe. Had to be 500 years old. Game, hung ready for skinning and cooking. The Templars lived well. rabbit, pheasant. That was strange. The blood trail led to the wine rack, but then completely disappeared. No pool of blood, no body, no nothing. It was a bottle of German wine, Wiesbaden. It was a bottle of Italian wine, Modena Lambrusco. It was a bottle of Israeli wine, Carmel Sauvignon Blanc. It was a bottle of French wine, Chateau Barentois. It was a bottle of French champagne, Montagne de Reims. Hey, presto! To my delight, the wine rack moved to reveal a secret passage. The blood trail continued.
Stobbart. We knew you would come.
Hey, you're the guy who mugged me outside the theater.
We had to have the key of Solomon. Now listen to me. Susaro is more powerful than we thought. There isn't much time. You must find the others. Protect the key.
Where is it?
Look for the statue. It hides the...
Hides what? I wasn't going to get any more from the guy. It was the body of the guy who'd taken the key from me outside the theater. He'd tried to tell me something about a statue. I couldn't find any clues. Whatever he was trying to protect, it was clearly worth laying his life down for. The secret door was very well hidden. I couldn't tell where the secret door ended and the wall began. The broken clock had stopped at 3:42. Cesaro's men must have been here for at least an hour. They must have been desperate. Hardly anything had been left untouched. The clock was smashed so badly it was beyond repair. They'd looked everywhere for the key. I hope they found it. Silence. That was either a sign, or there was just no one behind the door.